Alright, so we're gonna have a burger building minigame, and we're also gonna have a dynamic music system that gets crazier as the game goes on. And I'm gonna finish this devlog in less than a week. Hey everyone, I'm Adam, and the Brackeys GameJam took place a long time ago, but I'm here to tell you about it now. I woke up Sunday morning and realized the jam had already started with the theme Let There Be Chaos. However, I couldn't get started right away because I was busy elsewhere that day. Although I did try to come up with some game ideas. I could make a game where you create chaos, or a game where you have to stop chaos. And then a different idea struck me. I could make a cooking game inspired by some chowder games I played back in the day. That could get pretty chaotic if you have to serve a lot of customers. Could also take inspiration from Pop-Up Burgeria. Have a little burger building minigame. Man, I could make this in 3 days. What am I gonna do for a whole week? On the next day, I tried to write up a to-do list. I could use Trello, but I'm using Notepad this time for simplicity's sake. I made a new project and started setting things up. But then, as I was talking with a friend of mine, a thought crossed my mind. Apparently, I might have an exam tomorrow. So I woke up in the morning and went on a trip to school. I learned some information there, the most important of which is I can take part in the GameJam! Let's go! I got back home and started working on player movement. I also used my 500 IQ to plan out how I should be handling food items in the game. Man, it's day 4 already? So, on this fine day, I started working on a system to spawn customers. As for the customers, I wanted to be big brain about them, so I made an interactable quest to serve as a base for objects that you can click on. Except, it's not working. Why do on mouse enter and the other methods not work? In all these forum posts they're saying on mouse enter doesn't work on UI elements. But I'm not trying to use them on UI elements, so what now? Maybe I should try using raycasts instead. Alright, that didn't work. I'm losing it.
Eventually.
You know, wouldn't it be funny if on mouse enter only worked with the old input system and that was the whole reason it wasn't working? Holy shit, it works now. That only took like a day. I made it so that you can take the customer's order, but at this point there's only one item they can ask for. I made a machine that makes ice cream if you mesh space. I actually decided weeks ago that I would want to use a mesh mechanic like this in my next game. Not really something I'd put in a serious game, but it should be perfect for a casual little jam game. I threw together a main menu and figured, you know what? For the sake of the jam, I'll let players start at any level they want. As I was working on the game, I figured I should add the counter that shows the current and max number of customers you can have in the restaurant at a time. And then I was struck by a new idea. I should add the counter that tells you how many customers you satisfied or pissed off. For the art, I'd been wanting to use a cartoony style, like in my game The Miner, since lately all I seem to be making are pixel art games. But I went with the pixel art anyway, cause I figured it would be much simpler and faster. And besides, I'm amazing at pixel art. Can't you see? I decided to be fancy and drew multiple skins for customers so they can choose one randomly when spawning. I also drew the player facing forward, backward, sideways, and I figured, you know what? We don't even need to make animations. Saves time. For the first time, I tried using this 2D blend tree thing. Turned out a bit scuffed cause the player keeps going into the front state when he should be in the sideways state. Maybe I set it up wrong, or maybe this whole blend tree thing is overkill for a 2D game. And it would have been smarter to just set up animation states manually. So, this is basically my first time making a top-down game. Time to draw some time maps. Alright, that didn't work out so well. I tried to look at Binding of Isaac and other stuff for reference, but in the end I felt like it's not really what I want for this game, so I went and made my own reference in Blender.
2 hours later.
This turned out a bit scuffed. The counter at the front and the wall at the back are the same height. But maybe it's more charming this way. I finally made a win and a lose state depending on whether you reach the money goal by the end of the day. I imported my sound manager scripts from my other project and threw in a sound effect or two. At some point around this time I updated the customer order generation system so that they can ask for a random number of random items depending on what level you are on. Except, they leave after receiving any of their requested items and pay the full price. Well, I fixed the bug. And now the game is impossible. I'm really gonna have to tweak how their patience works. So the way the old system worked is that the customer's patience is increased by about 20% after each item that they ask for. Now, with the new system, each food has a patience bonus parameter, and all the patience bonuses get added together when the order is taken, and then when you deliver the food item to them, you get back the patience that it is worth. Alright, it's the last day. It's become evident a while ago that I wasn't gonna implement a burger building minigame. But should I implement burgers, or would that be overscoping too? Well, I'm doing it anyway. You cook the patty, take it off before it burns, and mash the spacebar at the burger station to get a burger. Time to make music! Many hours later, we now have music. I added more sound effects from the Ultimate Sound Effect bundle, and now the game is much more satisfying. I also put some finishing touches on the burger cooker. And I also made some plates where you can put food to empty your hands. This way throwing it in the trash isn't your only option. Well, that was the end of it. I feel like the music and game design turned out quite well in this game. I had ideas that didn't make it in. I was planning to have a drive-thru in the back, so you have customers coming there too. I was gonna have a burger building minigame, but the game is actually better without it. You're supposed to chaotically run around trying to serve the customers, and I feel like a burger building minigame wouldn't really fit that gameplay. I wanted to have the burger cookers actually set on fire if you don't take off the patties in time. That would have been hilarious. I might add that feature in a post-jam update. I found it pretty funny how the customers leave without paying if their patience runs out. But I figured I should make it so they pay for the food they already received. Except I must have messed up somewhere, cause I'm pretty sure they'll still leave without paying. Well, not sure how the balancing would have been affected if I did implement them paying properly. Maybe the game would be too easy then, in which case maybe I could have implemented a penalty for each disappointed customer. Anyway, that's the game, and since I've been taking so long to make this devlog just like last time, I can now show you the results. I got the highest rating in theme, so it looks like I managed to make the game chaotic enough. My other highest ratings are audio and game design, and as I said about 75 seconds ago, I do feel those turned out well. Well, that was it for this video. You can check out the game in the description. I might make a post-jam update for this game, in which case I'll let you know in a pinned comment below. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a comment, like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. Man, I literally cannot release these devlogs while the jam is still relevant.